Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Back History Podcast by Angela Buffington. Today's guest is Aquarius Fletcher. Thanks for coming, Aquarius.
Thanks for having me.
So, Aquarius, I want to ask you, this is just like a conversation. I want to know how you became Aquarius in a way. What made you start playing the drums and things like that, and your involvement with Trinity River Blues Society?
Well, I started playing drums when I was 13 years old, but my love for drums came way before then, when I was probably about 4 or 5 years old. The first influential song that I listened to was Little Drummer Boy at Christmas. And I just love that song. And I really felt the heartbeat of drums and playing drums in any song that I heard. The drums really touched my heart. I always loved the drums. I had an older brother who played a lot of musical instruments. And then so when I was about 13 years old, I was about ready to go to high school, and I wanted to play in the band. But at that time, there were not a lot of female, well, I'll say not a lot. There weren't any female drummers in the high school band at that time. I did want to play drums. I told my dad I wanted to play drums, but since there were no female drummers at that time, he suggested I play the flute or something like that. So
Yeah, exactly.
That really, nothing wrong with flute, but that just wasn't what I wanted to do. My passion was the drums. So I saved up all of my Christmas money, birthday money, did chores around the house for money, and bought my own drum set when I was 13. And I taught myself how to play drums and sing. And my brother and I played together at that time. And my brother had my younger sister play bass with us. And so we had a little family band when we were teenagers. And that's how I got involved in playing drums and singing.
So did you think your dad was maybe thinking you weren't going to save up the money to get the drums, or?
Well, it's possible, and I kind of understand that, since I have my own children, a lot of times they say they want to do something and you spend a lot of money and then they don't follow through.
That's true.
But I mean, I wanted to do it bad enough that I saved my own money, taught myself how to do it, and it just became a passion of mine. So it was fine. I was going to do it. I think when you really want to do something, you follow through and you make it happen one way or another. So
that's good. So tell me something about your early gigs. I mean, being a female artist, was it hard for you to get bookings, or what would you say to another female trying to be a drummer?
I'd say just do it. Don't let obstacles get in your way. I didn't really listen to anyone who maybe had anything negative to say about being a female drummer. To me, I was a musician. I was a drummer. This is what I wanted to do. I really try not to listen to the negativity. And I mean, it's worked for me, because I think, you kind of attract what you seek out. And I was seeking out encouraging people, positive people, enjoying the music. And so, fortunately, I did get to play with my brother. He was a little bit older than I was. And so he did get gigs for us, but we got to play around town. We got to play for like the Dallas Zoo. We got to play for the sheriff's department. We did a lot of private parties around, and this was all before internet and social media. So it was a lot harder to obtain gigs, but we had a good time.
Does your family still play? Or?
No, it's so funny. I was the only one who was not in band in high school, but I'm the only one who still plays music. My brother and sister, they were both in band in high school, but they no longer play music right now. But I took a 25-year break from playing to have kids and have a career and all of that. When my kids got older, then I got back into drums, because that passion of wanting to play never left. And I'm so glad that I did. And, I answered a Craigslist ad for someone who was looking for a drummer. And so I thought, well, I didn't really expect to, be able to play with the band, but I thought, well, let me just at least audition. I haven't played in 25 years, so at least I can say I auditioned. And I did join that band, and that's how I met my bass player, Doug Stanwyck, and he's been playing with me in my band for 10 years. And that's how my band started, really, about 10 years ago.
Yeah, because I met you at the Step Up Lounge that time you were playing.
That's how
I met you. And then And then that's how we made our connection and stuff doing that. So tell me, what is like? I mean, you still have your family. So how is it how do you manage your music career and your family life?
Well, it's pretty difficult. There's just not enough hours in the day, but I mean, it's just shifting priorities constantly. When I first got back into the music scene, it was just trying to build up again to, playing and being used to playing, getting gigs. At one point, I heard about the Texas Musicians Museum in Irving that existed back in the late 2000s. And they had a Texas Women in Music jam that I was interested in playing. The band that I was in at the time wasn't interested in playing it. And that's actually how I ended up with my own band. I never intended to have my own band. I just wanted to play drums. And so my brother, who I had played with, previously before, he lives out of town. He came up to play with me. I had Doug Stanwyck, who played with me on bass. And we did just kind of a trio. One of the other women in that Texas Women in Music also played with us. And that's actually how I started my band, was at that time with the Texas Musicians Museum. And through that, I was able to meet Tom Gomez, who plays guitar with me. He's been playing for almost the whole time as well, 9-10 years. And I met a lot of other musicians, the founder of Texas Women in Music, Carol Durkee. I know I saw you there quite a lot as well. Yeah. So I got to meet a lot of other musicians and a lot of other people who were involved in the music scene. And so that really helped a lot, kind of expanding my experience in different genres, different styles of playing, and just kind of making those connections and networking. So I'm very grateful for that point in time and being able to do that. And now I'm, involved with Trinity River Blues Society.
Swiss knife.
Yeah,
she
Texas
does so
Women
many.
in Music,
Yeah.
Breast Cancer Can Stick It Drumathon. So I've been able to make a lot of different connections and get to see a lot of different genres and different sides of the music business. And I'm constantly learning and constantly meeting new people. And I just try to take advantage of those opportunities and also support all the musicians in the community, because it's hard,
It's hard. It is very people hard. Don't realize how hard it is.
It's a lot of hard work to put in there.
Because Aquarius and I talk many nights at 10, 11, midnight, with Trinity stuff, because it's just a lot. People don't realize how much work it goes in on the business side and on your side, but then in the business side too, because you can't have one without the other. Right.
It does take a lot of work and a lot of people to make things happen. Definitely.
So what would you say? I know you're a breast cancer survivor. So when you got that diagnosis, what did you think about? I mean, other than, of course, the obvious, but like your music career, did you feel like it was over it, or?
Yeah, before I got my diagnosis, I had this eerie feeling that something bad was going to happen for about 3 months before I got diagnosed. And I didn't know what it was at that time. I couldn't pinpoint what it was. I just had the feeling. And I think a lot of people maybe that are empaths or just kind of have a premonition that something's going to happen. That's kind of what I had. And I felt like I was on a deadline. I felt like I had a deadline. Like I have to hurry up and do this. And at that point in time, we were gigging quite often and momentum was high and my band was playing a lot. And then I got my diagnosis and then I knew, okay, that's what it was. That was that feeling. And so then I had to deal with, treatments and chemotherapy and immunotherapy and surgeries. And so I did have to step away from music for a couple of years, which was hard. But at the same time, it was also a motivating factor to get through my treatment, to remain positive, because then I had something I could come back to. And I wanted to be able to play drums. And I had 3 surgeries, so it was very difficult to get the physical strength to get back into playing drums. But that was a goal that I had. So I had something to look forward to and something to work towards. It's been 3 years later now, but I feel like finally I can, get back hopefully into the same momentum of when I left, when I got diagnosed.
Oh, you in so many committees and stuff. So I think you got the momentum going. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Breast Cancer Can Stick It. I know you're on their board as well.
Yeah. So Breast Cancer Can Stick It. After I had my diagnosis, April Samuels, she's a local drummer, and she's also a breast cancer survivor. And she created this organization for research and trials and mammograms and to help people dealing with their cancer diagnosis. And her organization is music centric. She is also a drummer. So she puts on a drumathon each year in the Dallas area. And so I got involved with that. I was on her podcast. She wanted to start a new committee called the Women in Music Committee. And I became chair of that. And I'm still on that committee. We put on different events called Beats and Eats. Mm-hmm. We've put on drum clinics. We did a documentary called Beat Keepers with a producer from Canada that's actually won at least a dozen awards and is on YouTube, TV, and movies right now, streaming. So kind of done a lot of different things and to really involve women drummers, not just locally, but also around the country as well. So, I'm all for supporting musicians, women musicians, creating opportunities that we can. So that's what I do with Breast Cancer Can Stick It. So I'm involved in that way.
So when I saw you on social media and I said, well, I need a board member, I said, I think it's going to be Aquarius. So I reached out to her and said, Aquarius, I need your help.
Yes, you did.
I said, because I watch, I watch and see like, Aquarius. It kept coming back to something. So I asked her and you're like, what is it involved? Oh, not much.
That's what they all say. They always say that.
Not much.
I think April told me the same thing.
I said, no much.
Oh, only about 30 minutes a week.
But I have to say, Aquarius is our Swiss knife. Tell them all the stuff you do for Trinity. Everything.
Well, let's see. I was doing the newsletter, doing the merchandise, volunteers, treasurer.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I know you had a lot to do, but can you be the treasurer now? We lost the treasurer. We need you.
Yeah.
So between us, we get it done. But we talk many nights late.
Yeah, it was kind of the same thing with Breast Cancer Can Stick It. They're like, can you put on an event? Well, I was like, well, I've never put on an event before. Well, I just learned real fast. I mean, I taught myself how to play drums and sing, so I taught myself how to do all these other things as well, that even if I hadn't done it before. But, but I'm better for it because I've learned a lot of things, and now I know how to do all these things.
Yeah, she does. She knows how to do a festival. She knows how to keep me calm when stuff happens too. She'll bring me back down because I'm like, I've had it. That's it. But of course, like, oh no, that's good. They can't go where we're going. Just, keep calm. I'm like, oh, okay, that's true.
That's right. Sometimes, when you trying to go up to the next level, trying to pick up momentum on something, you have to kind of shut out all the negativity because those are things that are just obstacles, and you don't want that getting in the way. Yeah.
If people don't know, it takes a village.
Yes, it does.
It takes a village.
Yes, definitely.
So what else would you like to people to know about you? I mean,
Well, I mean, Aquarius All-Star Band is the band that I've had now we're going to be celebrating our 10 years this year, and consists of Doug Stanwyck on bass, Tom Gomez on lead guitar, and Thad Bonduras also on guitar. And we all do vocals, and we do genres from the 50s all the way up to current, classic rock, Motown, country, and blues. And we're always, looking for gigs and looking for new songs to add to the mix. And, for me, doing the music is a way to kind of unify people from all walks of life and from different genres. I personally like a lot of different types of music. And one thing that I've noticed that when we play, a lot of people do come up to us and say they really love your set list. And that is actually curated on purpose.
Right.
I don't just come up with whatever. I mean, I do look at what the audience reaction is, how people react to things. A lot of people, when we play music, I mean, it unifies people.
It does.
And helps us relate to each other, even if we are not from the same background or the same walk of life. but it does, bring people together. And I always feel like that playing music, even though it's secular music, is kind of a testimony because it makes people feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And,
or get over things,
yes.
or sadness or whatever. We all, because you might have a heartbreak. And I know I've done that before where I played the song about 45 times. It's like, okay, so it's time to get up. But that song got me through whatever it was, It's like, oh, this is my song. This is my thing.
And it's therapy. It's like, it very much is therapy. And I know a lot of people have gone through a lot of struggles, but when you play certain songs, it is therapeutic for people. Definitely.
Oh. Well, thank you, Aquarius. This is Aquarius Fletcher here. I'm glad to have her as a guest on the Back History Podcast. I also want to thank my sponsors, that's bomb.com and Trinity River Blues Society. If you'd like to become a member of Trinity River Blues Society, you can do so by going to trinityriverblues.org on our website and join. You can inbox us, if you want to be a sponsor, you can do it there as well, or you can inbox me at Angela at trinityriverblues.org. And we would love to have you. We need volunteers. I once again want to thank my guest, Aquarius Fletcher, the Swiss Knife of Trinity River Blues Society. Thank the audience for tuning in, and we'll see you later. Bye.